Hello, we're at NAB and we're at the booth, as you can see, of Digital Rapids. And we have an opportunity to speak with Eksten, who is the president of Digital Rapids. Thanks, Brick, for taking some time to speak with us.
Thanks for coming by.
It's been now a little over a year since you started talking about putting your workflow into the cloud and basically creating this new environment that would be able to allow people to do just about all the things they want to do in terms of managing their assets and managing the processing on those assets across their internal facilities and remote facilities, and do it very holistically through this Kayak workflow management system. And now you're bringing into the marketplace various of your own product, like the transcode and your streaming products and what have you, that are integrated with this Kayak workflow. Tell us a little bit about how the introduction of these products is affecting the marketplace with the existence of Kayak out there as part of those products.
Sure. So Kayak is a modular platform designed from the ground up to make it very easy to integrate technologies. We originally started building Kayak for ourselves as a way to become more efficient as a product company. But as we went through the development process, we realized there was an opportunity to create a more open ecosystem, one that we could invite other people onto. And as we sort of went through that process and went through the development through the last couple of years, we started sharing some of those thoughts with our customers and our other vendor partners. It became clear that there was an actual need for this from our customers and from our vendors. They were looking for one platform that they could put all their effort into, which would allow them to, more easily access our customer base, and our customers could reach out and have more choice in the types of vendors they integrated into their workflow. And so it became a natural for us to, and as we consider how we bring all these things together, it became a natural for us to leverage that same ecosystem for building our own products. Today we have several products that we're launching on the broadcast live side. We have our Transcode Manager workflow system, which is also all based on Kayak. And the roadmap for us is that everything we do in the near future, over the next, say, year, everything will be moved over to this Kayak platform. And really that buys us and our customers and our vendor partners two benefits. One is it makes us more efficient as a company, which means we can build a product faster, we can respond to market changes and demands and technology changes faster. We can integrate more partners because the partners are working independently on their own solutions, which we can more easily integrate. Our customers benefit because, through choice. They can use the workflows and the applications we designed as templates for how we think they need to solve problems. They can take those templates, they can add their own components through our modular architecture and expand their workflow. They can take what would have been a multi-step process, one of, say, ingest, transformation, quality, QC, and delivery, and they can collapse those down into singular processes that don't have to go back and forth to disk or across hosts or through different phases of their environment, and that makes them more efficient end to end. So no matter how you look at the Kayak platform, whichever perspective, as from a product perspective, it's easier to manage and maintain. From a vendor perspective, it's an opportunity to reach broader market because you now have technologies from a number of different vendors that you can put together, in the way it works for you. That's your custom design solution, and you can count on the fact that it'll all seamlessly work together.
Now, in terms of your traditional customer base, the people that have already been using your transcode and your streaming products and all of that, how do they jump onto this train? Where does Kayak start to come into play where it makes sense for them to migrate it into their environment that isn't just a forklift and trade out of everything they've been doing and marries in with the products they've been using from you?
Well, yeah, we were very cognizant of the change management for our customers, and so sitting above all of our high volume products, if you will, whether they're live streaming or their file workflow, we have these application servers. One's called Transcode Manager, and the other one's called Broadcast Manager. Most of our customers have integrated on top of those, and what we're really talking about is swapping out the engines that run underneath the hood. So they can look at, as technology changes and adopts, we're going to be adding the new technologies in the new kayak framework. The old systems will continue to run. Okay. So if they've got an investment in our traditional equipment, that will continue. That investment will continue to be of value as long as it's relevant. And we've seen how long MPEG 2 has been relevant. That's been a very long time. But as technology changes and we see new standards and new formats, or maybe they have a mandate to think about greater efficiencies, then they start to transition over to the kayak framework. And especially in file-based workflow, where they can actually run our engines simultaneously in a hybrid mode, where they can use the existing engines for part of a workflow and use the kayak for the rest. And so they can slowly work their way into it. Our initial customers, it's only been out for about a month and a half. Our initial customers started off with just that mandate. They were going to slowly transition over. Within a month and a half, though, they've got so much work done inside the kayak framework, and they've built so many custom workflows that they're just wholeheartedly moving over. So, but we made the opportunity manageable for them, and it's really up to our customers how they want to manage that transition.
That's interesting, that experience. From the standpoint, and it's fascinating that you've originally conceived of this as a way to enhance the value of your core products, and so kayak was going to make it a better way to get into the cloud and to do things differently. But you actually have brought kayak out and started using it in the marketplace, as you say, as an ecosystem enabler. Tell us a little bit about how that has resonated in terms of the types of customers, if you can name some of them, they're using it, and how it is now affecting the marketplace, possibly beyond what you anticipated.
Well, yeah. So the most interesting thing is that, first off, there is this ecosystem. And we have around 50 vendors signed up to write plugins for our ecosystem. Those vendors are in various stages of adoption or implementation, if you will. We have vendors who've delivered their technologies here at the show just a month and a half after the main product went live. We have vendors that don't plan on bringing stuff over for another 6-8 months. But it'll happen over time as they see the requirement and as they get the feedback from our customers that kayak's being successful for them. They'll make that choice on their own and when to bring it over. We didn't set out to try to conquer the world and get everybody on board. We created an opportunity, and those who see that opportunity have definitely been taking advantage of it. What is meant for our customers is that because they're able to pick and choose between the best of breed of technologies, and because they're able to choose technologies which normally they would have to they could only use by integration at a very high application level, they've been able to create efficiencies because in kayak they can just modularly just plug them together. So for instance, doing multiplexing and packaging of content and putting QC directly in line with that multiplexing and packaging workflow means that as every byte comes out of the back of the packager, the QC tool is actually checking it to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do.
QC being quality control.
Yeah, and so that ability to sort of short step that, what would have been a multi-process architecture, has created tremendous efficiencies. The other thing that it's really resonated is that our sort of higher end partners, so kayak as a platform is multidimensional from a partner perspective. So we have partners who give us technology or integrate technology with us. We work with our customers to integrate their technologies into kayak so they have something that's truly theirs and has their unique value. And then there are partners who are taking the entire thing and building on top of that. And that's our partnership with Microsoft and Dell and others at the show, who are planning on building out their own cloud services offering on top of the capabilities of kayak.
So in that case, then it's kayak is the core product that you're giving them, not so much the traditional products that go with it, although I assume their customers can turn to you for those products.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a case where we're one of their partners. And what they see as a value inside of kayak is that they can build a cloud service which runs a generic process, that generic process being a placeholder for whatever the customer has designed in kayak. And it becomes very simple for them because a customer designs this highly complex workflow. Because they designed it in kayak, it's completely natively, transparently portable to that cloud service without changing a thing about it. You don't have to take a snapshot image. You don't have to create a virtual machine and upload it to the cloud. You just take the workflow, which is a couple of 100K of XML, you just send it to the cloud, and the cloud just recreates your workflow on the fly, on demand, giving you tremendous opportunities for scale. So it's a really nice synergy between the cloud service providers and Kayak the platform and the work that our customers doing to create their own solutions and bring their own value to the market.
Mentioning Microsoft and Azure and the cloud, there's been all this talk for so long about using the cloud in the media space and in the service provider space. We saw some pretty compelling examples of how cloud-based applications can make something happen on a massive scale with the Olympics, and in that case, Microsoft played a role with Azure. But now we're seeing a major player, NBC Sports, take their content, their NFL programs, their Triple Crown programs, their, you name it, their sports programming. I understand 1,000 events in the year ahead will be put over the top and offered across all devices, across the entire globe. And they've calculated that the average bandwidth out there globally now is 3 megabits, which I found to be an astonishing number when you take into account the entire world population. But 3 megabits on average gets them to a point of being able to distribute this stuff at fairly high resolution and HD. And so now suddenly they're going over the top and they're doing it through the cloud. And that's kind of a revolution as far as a major player with that kind of high value content banking on the cloud as a way to efficiently launch and get out there in the marketplace. Do you think this is going to have an impact in the thinking of the industry on the reliability of this kind of strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've already proven out a certain level of reliability with the success of the Olympics, the past few Olympics. I mean, we tend to look at the cloud from a very media-centric point of view because of the market that we're in.
Right.
If we were enterprise customers, we wouldn't think of it as that thing over there. We would think about it as that's the way we do business, right? We use the cloud to do things every day. I don't think it's a matter of stability or performance. I think it's a matter of applicability. Is what we're doing applicable to that? Is the cloud applicable to what we're doing in particular in media and entertainment? And I think that the answer's got to be yes. We've already seen it happen. The fact that somebody like NBC is making such a bold move and pushing their content into the cloud is just validation that they've done their work and they believe it's completely possible. And I just think we're just going to see more and more of this transition in the future because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
The economies of scales are already there. Microsoft's already willing to sign that SLA that says we'll guarantee the performance and stability and scalability. NBC already has on the other end of the spectrum. NBC customers like that already have the accounting that says that doing it the traditional way may not be the most efficient way to do it, and here's an opportunity for predictable costs and predictable manageability, a potentially very large scale processing in a platform which is being provided under the SLA of someone else. I mean, if we can afford it and it's going to work, why wouldn't we do it?
Yeah, well, it can't hurt that there's a workflow management system out there that can accommodate this kind of strategy. So congratulations on all the progress there, and thanks a lot for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay.
It's a pleasure as always.